This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group. This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
This is the Blue Man Group.
Hello, everybody. My name's Ron Ecstasy, and this is Blue Men Group. As always, joined by my co-hosts, Devin Welsh and John Biedron. What's up?
Thank you very much.
Hi. You're welcome very much.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, me too. All right, let's get right into it. This section is what we do every single show. It's called Nope.
Whoa.
Record scratch.
It's called Criticisms. Today
What
we are
the
going
hell?
to be criticizing each other in the hopes of bringing ourselves up or something.
Are
Yeah,
these
so-
now? Are these going to be constructive criticisms, or are these just criticisms?
Uh-oh.
That's
not in my notes.
Let's see where it develops over the next few weeks and kind of get into where we need to take it.
I'm afraid of this. Devin, you have too many microphones to choose from.
Excellent.
Okay.
That is
John.
true. I also have that problem with Devin.
John, your microphone sucks.
Mm.
Okay, there was no
Alright.
laughs.
I'm a little
at that. I was the
sensitive.
only one that laughed.
This
I
is-
I'm a
don't
little
mean
sensitive
it.
to that one.
I don't
This
mean
is-
it.
Yeah.
This is brutal.
This is brutal.
Ron.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, you go.
Yeah. How about this? Ron. Too many names. Too many.
All right,
damn
well,
names.
you can't do the too many thing.
All right. How about this? You came by my house recently, and I was sleepy.
Yeah.
And you just let yourself in. Just
I did. And it woke
So-
you
totally
up.
disrupted my flow.
It's true.
So a little inconsiderate. Just
Sorry.
want to say that.
Yeah.
Devin, a little too distant these days.
Whoa. Okay. Ron, I have to say I find you uncouth, and John, I find you discourteous.
Discourteous. Oh my god, an uncouth.
Damn.
That sounds like a cool R&B couple maybe. Discourteous and not uncouth.
Devin's
Oh,
wearing
yeah.
white gloves,
We have a new CD you could buy.
and a ruffled shirt.
Yeah.
All right, well that was criticisms. I don't know how well that went.
Yeah.
By the
that
way,
was-
that was not sponsored by Robbie Abiobi in New Zealand. He did not
No,
sponsor that. So
nobody did.
thank you, I guess. Or let's move on. So let's go to one of my favorite segments. A kind of, I believe it is the mooring to this show. It kind of puts us into a situation where we can understand ourselves within the realm of history. It's This Week in History.
April 15th, 1912. Just hours after hitting an iceberg, the Titanic sinks off the coast of Newfoundland. About 1,500 people on board the British luxury liner perish in the waters of the icy North Atlantic.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
That's not
Yeah.
good. How many people died? They say 15?
100.
I think more than 15.
I
I didn't catch it either, though.
15. Okay, so
I saw the movie.
15
I don't need to know the specifics.
Wait, there's a movie about this. Is that true?
Yeah. There's.
A
There
movie
was a movie
directed by
about it.
the master of the ocean, actually, James Cameron.
Yes,
Right.
James Cameron. That's
One-
true. He loves the ocean. He has a little submarine that he goes into.
One of the people who's gone to the deepest depths of the ocean ever.
That's true.
I guess there's 11 movies about the Titanic.
Hmm.
Huh.
So
Wow,
yeah,
A lot of
it's-
them made. One was made. Wait, that can't be right.
It's
One was
well
made in
documented.
1912.
But why so well documented?
What is
why
the
do we
obsession
care?
here? Yeah, why do we care so much about Titanic?
Excellent question.
I don't know. I have
don't-
no idea.
I actually don't care.
The Onion called it the world's largest metaphor.
That's a good point. I think
That's a good joke.
Yeah, I feel like partially it survives maybe just because of its utility for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if this is one of those like You know how like they sometimes do 2 days in a row, AP This Week in History, they'll like do the same thing, or like
Mhm.
it'll be like we did a story and then it's like they do it again.
Yeah.
This is like by whose calendar? If it's in international waters,
Yeah, that's true.
what date was it? How do we know that it was
Whoa.
the 15th?
I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was the 15th in the time zone in which the accident took place, presumably.
Well, okay, so the guy
It'd
driving
be like
the ship,
yesterday here.
Edward Smith,
Do you say
Sea-
driving a boat?
sea captain.
Driving a
He,
ship?
whatever. I don't know what the
Steering.
hell. Is,
Steering.
well, he wasn't doing what he was supposed to be doing. It seems he ran into a iceberg.
Yeah.
Well, he was filled with hubris.
Well,
yeah.
It's like when I'm on the highway and I'm like, I don't even use my turn signal to merge or whatever.
Yeah. This car is big enough that if I get
Yeah.
into a huge accident, I'll definitely survive.
He was
the
like,
i-
watch me demolish this iceberg. He said to the second in command.
Was it a too big to fail situation? And
Absolutely.
and then it failed. Is there larger metaphors that we're not drawing upon from here?
The Titanic is sort of a bigger version of the Hindenburg.
Yeah, there's the hubris angle. There's like the angle of the Titanic itself and the fact that it was poorly steered. And then there's the whole tip of the iceberg thing.
Oh,
Wow, yeah, we got a lot of juice out of this one.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Metaphorically.
actually, it's just filling up with water as we speak. I feel like the Titanic. I'm still trying to look for how many people died. I know they said it in the video. I'm not going to go back.
No. We
I-
can't. We're recording a
Yeah,
podcast.
Yeah.
exactly.
I do know that there was some sort of billionaire, eccentric billionaire or multimillionaire who was trying to make the Titanic 2.
As of late or sometime in
Yes.
the past?
So the intended launch date was originally set in 2016, then delayed to 2018, and now it's 2022.
What a
It just
perfect
seems like
scam.
this is probably not a good idea.
This seems
and-
like a scam in the purest sense, where it's like, yeah, we're gonna do another Titanic.
Yeah.
I need all the donations I can get. It's just never gonna happen.
Yeah, it's
And then- And then
the guy.
they claim that it also sinks, but
Right.
they actually bring it down into an underwater kind of cavern where then they take the people on the boat as hostages and they kind of extract all the wealth and put them to work in this underwater slave colony.
And James Cameron's down
it's
there.
terrible. James Cameron, yeah, this is his whole thing.
Yeah.
You
It,
get
that's
on the
another story.
Titanic too, and it's staffed entirely by pirates.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it seems like okay, so Titanic 2 would represent the first major passenger vessel constructed in China, a country with much more experience in building cargo ships. We obviously know that. And it seems okay, so I'm sorry. I'm not- I
Okay,
don't
well-
know why I'm reading about Titanic 2. I was just reading that the guy who Clive Palmer, okay, I was correct. He's just been described as an eccentric billionaire with a reputation for bizarre publicity stunts. So this could 100% be a bizarre publicity stunt. He previously claimed that he was a target of a conspiracy involving Barack Obama, the CIA, the Rockefeller Foundation, and Greenpeace.
I'm surprised he didn't
Oh.
include Cameron in that list.
I know.
Yeah, why not?
So this is the guy who's in charge of Titanic 2. That seems great. Titanic 1, not so
Mixed
Great.
results.
mixed
Titanic
results.
won.
Everyone loved the movie though.
Kind
Don't
of a
tell me what
wash.
happens. I haven't seen it. And the Titanic, yeah, I don't know, somewhere between 15 and 1,500 people died. An iceberg,
Possibly
an
a couple
iceberg's
more.
on trial or hasn't been on trial.
No.
And the guy who is
Well, the
driving
iceberg
the
was the
ship,
victim. Because
Oh,
this guy
that's
steered
true.
right into it.
Yeah, that's true. The Titanic should go on trial, but then
Yeah.
it's just desserts anyway. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, and Edward Smith is nowhere to be seen. He's in a cold, icy grave underwater.
Davy
And-
Jones' locker.
And
Edward Smith's locker.
and nobody misses him because
No.
he did a bad thing.
yeah,
The
so-
worst captain in history.
yeah, worst
Or the-
worst guy to have steering your ship. If this guy ever asks you if you want to go water skiing, say no. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on. That is the Titanic. Rest in peace, every single soul that was on that. including the shrimp and the fish and everything that they were going to eat that kind of got sent back into the ocean, even though it was already dead.
Yeah, I wonder if any lobsters survived as a result.
And they, you know how they can't they live to be like 100? There might be like a lobster alive
Yeah.
now that was on
Yeah.
the Titanic.
That won't shut up about. That's constantly telling that story.
Yeah, we'll have the lobster from the Titanic on the show next week. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes section. What's in the news?
So we've got a number of really interesting stories to cover. A lot's been in the
Piping
news.
hot. Piping
Oh,
hot. off the
yeah.
wire.
Okay, so Dev, you were just speaking about the Titanic actually being completely underwater, submerged into what John called Edward Smith's locker. That's kind of a play on Davy Jones' locker, which I don't know what that means. And this article's headline, this takes place outside of Chicago, so just keep that in mind. Alton man, so that's like outside of Chicago, discovers mysterious 19th century era tunnel beneath his property.
Spooky.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. So
We're just gonna leave it there.
and that's it. That's all you got. That's all we got. So Alton, Illinois. Does anybody know where Alton, Illinois is? I just told you it's outside of Chicago.
But which direction outside of Chicago?
I have no clue.
Okay.
Do we have an atlas or a? What
Yeah,
do we,
well,
I mean,
all right, let's get our globes out.
we haven't done this in a while.
Yeah. Pulling
Oh,
out the
wait a
globe.
second. I have a feeling it's nowhere near Chicago.
Uh-oh.
It's just in the same state.
It's outside of St. Louis. It's on the Illinois side of St. Louis, if that makes sense to you.
Good thing we looked it up.
I know, actually.
Oh, it's on the Mississippi River.
It's
Ooh.
right on the mighty Mississippi.
So this
Okay.
that's interesting.
That is
I mean, this was a
interesting.
major route of commerce and transportation.
That's very true.
So
Okay.
that tunnel could have been used for anything.
That's true. So this is from Fox 2 Now, which I believe is some Fox thing in St. Louis, maybe. We're going underground in Alton, Illinois, into a tunnel that was just found. That sounds like poetry or something.
Yeah.
A lot of brick, says Gary Machens, who discovered the tunnel. Whatever they built this for, it took a lot of men and a lot of hours. You know, one guy didn't do this, said Gary Machens.
I think maybe he did it and he's trying
Yeah.
to take people off the scent.
It seems like that. So Machens first uncovered this tunnel when he discovered his sidewalk starting to slope. Had a problem here at the sidewalk, and as we were doing some excavating and repacking of the rock here, we discovered this tunnel here, he said. According to historians here in the Alton area, this tunnel was put here in 1840.
Nice.
So what we have here is a super interesting story about a man digging his own tunnel and then claiming that it was from the 1800s.
He loves here, like where he is when he's being interviewed. He loves that place.
It's probably because it's like a border town of Missouri. So he's sick and tired of being, painted as a Missourian, a show me state person.
This guy seems to be struggling to indicate any sort of hunch he has about it. He seems completely like dumbfounded about this tunnel.
Yeah.
He's like, it could be an ice house or a cellar or part of the Underground Railroad. Then he says there's no proof of that, but could be.
He's got a
He has
list.
no
of
idea who made
suspects.
it or why. He's like dumb. He's like, there's a lot of bricks.
Here's a quote from him from the article. "Why is it stair-stepped like this?" Machen said. Why is that in there? Do you see the offset in the brick? And if you look along this wall, it turns that way a little bit. Look down along this wall.
That's a
So-
legit quote. That is, I was reading it. My eyes were following every single letter as Devin was just reading that.
It's true.
So then he goes on to say it's unique. There are a few tunnels around the Alton area since we checked with the Landmark Historical Society. It's been used as an ice house or root cellar or a lot of other options. So it's starting the more we read about it, it's starting to be like this guy has a basement.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
the news is reporting on
Man
everyone's
discovers
basement
under house. This is sort of like the worst possible guy that this could happen to. He's just like the most dull man
he
in
can't
Alton,
articulate it.
Illinois.
He can't understand it.
Yeah.
Mawkins, a history lover, says he wants to preserve this past and current day mystery in his life. No idea.
He says again, so it was at least 9 feet tall, he said. We're standing on about a foot of dirt, and it's 9 feet wide. And how far back it goes, we don't know. We know it goes back 60 feet.
That's so awesome.
Immediately, like, makes himself wrong.
How does this get by? Okay, so right below the article, there's a button that says suggest a correction. We could potentially suggest that they do know how far back it goes.
Yeah.
60
how far
feet.
back, it goes, we don't know.
Can't they
Probably
figure
about
that
60
out?
feet. Yeah, they could simply measure it.
Also, there's just essentially no information other than what we've just read. We've just read the whole article to you, and I don't know where I knew more about this when I didn't read the article than I did at the end.
I knew more about the story before I heard of the story.
Yeah.
The seams are starting to show here at Blue Men Group, and that we just revealed that we just read this entire article and we have nothing to say.
Yeah, so it made it to TV news too. So this is hard hitting, this is what we're learning on TV. This is what's on the airwaves. Let's take an official listen of how people who get paid the big bucks report on the same stories that we report.
And an entrance under his house.
So mysterious. Fox News' Patrick Clark taking us underground, where a tunnel dating back to the 1800s has been uncovered for the first time.
In Alton, Illinois, we are going underground into a tunnel that was just found.
A lot of brick. Whatever they built this for, it took a lot of men and a lot of hours.
They're just the same things that we read.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
just
let's hear his voice.
There he is. He's wearing a St. Louis Cardinals baseball shirt. He's got white shiny shoes on.
To be
like
fair,
running
I'm looking
shoes.
at this tunnel, and there are a lot of bricks.
It's really impressive. The tunnel, it is. It's really. It's like it would have taken a lot of man hours and a lot of workers, as he says.
One guy didn't do this.
You do know that.
Not one guy didn't do this.
Gary Mawkins first uncovered this tunnel when he discovered his sidewalk starting to slope.
Had a problem here at the sidewalk, and as we were doing some excavating and repacking the rock in there, we discovered this tunnel here. And according to historians here in the Alton area, this tunnel was probably put in here around 1840.
When the West Alton farmer and his wife moved into this home, he knew of its history dating back to the 1890s. Mawkins believes the change in elevation from 1895, when this brick-lined street was put down, covered the opening to this underground mystery.
But why is it stair-stepped right there? Why is that in there? What was the purpose? You see the offset in the brick? And then if you actually look along this wall, it turns that way a little bit. Like look down along this wall.
Whether for ice storage.
This was like a 5-minute investigation where they're like, we're going to film at this guy's mystery tunnel. We're not even gonna mic the our man from Fox 2.
No.
We're just gonna have him talk for like 5 minutes and then we're getting out of there because we got other stories to
let Mawkins talk. He's the man. Give him the mic.
I'm also confused. They don't say where it leads. They don't like.
Yeah, why don't you?
They haven't investigated this tunnel at all.
Walk down the tunnel with a flashlight and see what you find.
Road, it's anyone's best guess.
It's unique. There are a few tunnels around the Alton area we have found out since we checked with
the Landmark Society.
The Landmark Historic Society. It's probably been used for maybe a half dozen things through the years, anywhere from an ice house to a root cellar and maybe a few other options.
So it's just a basement. It is just a basement. Okay.
Yeah. The news team should go to like a library and find the oldest book and report on it and just be like, this book's from 1902.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
So anyway, yeah, that's the tunnel. It's been discovered, and if we get any more updates on that story, we will definitely fill you in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just hope that they don't fill in the tunnel, so to speak. Yeah, all right. Well, that was fun. Let's get the hell out of that section of Illinois. And let's go to outer space. How does that sound, you guys?
Yeah.
All right, this is from another Fox affiliate, Fox 8 in Cleveland. Headline: Images leaked from Pentagon investigation show UFOs swarm above Navy destroyer.
Wow.
That's actually fucked up.
Yeah, that's actually a crazy story.
Okay, so amazing images have been leaked from a secret Pentagon investigation of UFOs. Huh? The task force, which is in they're capitalized, the task force. So that seems like an official. Some organization is called the task force, has been gathering evidence for a comprehensive report to Congress, which is due in June. So don't wait till the end to do it. You should start working on it now, because June will be here before you know it. It includes photographs, videos of UFO encounters with U.S. military assets, including Navy destroyers off Southern California coast.
So we got two mysteries in the news this week. We got two huge mysteries. Mysterious tunnel. Could be used for anything. And then also unidentified flying objects confirmed are real, and there will be a report on them this year.
Yeah, so there's above ground and underground.
Two different, but maybe could possibly be related.
That's true. So part of the report is to educate other military and intelligence officials about the nature of the UFO mystery. So let's just remember that UFO doesn't necessarily mean like like a cartoon UFO thing. It just means unidentified flying object, which could be a bug that we don't even classify yet. Could be an unidentified flying object.
But come on.
Exactly. It's the cartoon
it's aliens.
thing.
Yeah.
The new images were gathered by the task force and obtained by investigative filmmaker Jeremy Corbell, who confirmed their authenticity. How did you do that?
I don't know.
Mystery Wire. Who's that?
That's
Mystery Wire has independently confirmed that the visual materials are included in the briefing presentation were prepared by the UAP task force.
That's our favorite news source. We love AP Wire. They're great. We're, an affiliate of theirs. But then Mystery Wire is another sister affiliate. And they break all the really crazy, spooky mystery news. Just like the one we were just talking about, the underground tunnel.
Yeah.
Okay, so
if it's spooky and creepy, it's Mystery Wire.
Yeah, I'm looking at these photos, and you can see them, I guess, just at Jeremy Corbell, Corbell, and they're extremely grainy, and it doesn't look like anything. It looks like the first ever digital camera took a picture of like some dirt close up or something like that.
Yeah, it looks like a picture of a fly.
Yeah, it's 4MP. I'm on Jeremy Corbell's at Jeremy Corbell. And
his socials? You're on his socials?
I'm on his socials, and his bio says, weaponize, in all caps, weaponize your curiosity.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a bit confused as to how he plans to weaponize the story. Maybe he's going to try to adapt some of this alien technology into military weaponry technology.
Yeah. Ultimately, I think they just want to kill aliens or something. The USS Omaha, which is a ship, and we were talking about ships earlier. This one's still floating, so by the way, I assume.
This one steers around the icebergs.
Yeah. Observed a possible UAS. I believe that's an unidentified spherical in shape, moving towards the surface of the water and then disappearing. OMA assessed the subject. Object, Oma is grandma in German. So maybe somebody's German grandma came over and assessed the object, and they noticed it sunk, just like the Titanic. Attempts to search the water for wreckage were ineffective. I know one guy who could probably find it. His name's James Cameron.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so there's more photos of these UFO, unidentified flying objects.
So we'll
I
wait
don't
to
know.
see if the report does come out in June, or if this is kind of a made-up story.
I'm also on his official website, Jeremy Corbell, and he has a couple of investigative films that seem to be on a similar theme, with titles such as "Hunt for the Skinwalker," "Patient 17," or "I Am Nano Man."
Wow. So yeah, these sound very credible and interesting.
Yeah. And I'm on this Mystery Wire website now, and I don't know how they got their news like syndicated into Fox and stuff like that, but it seems like kind of a homemade news website. I could do this. And then like Fox picked it up, but I will be keeping an eye on this this style of news website called Mystery Wire.
This style
it
of
does kind of seem
Yeah, if you go to mystery.wire on Instagram, you can see these videos, and they are sourced to Jeremy Corbell. I guess we're watching this video right now.
Yeah, some of the footage of one of the UFOs.
Yeah, so it's like a big flash in the sky. I don't know. Do you think we've been visited by UFOs? Co-hosts?
I don't think so, but who knows?
I'm gonna say yeah.
Good, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. There's somebody say no and somebody say yes. That will make the listeners like think like, wow, okay, this is a diverse set of opinions on this show.
Yeah,
and the reason I'm saying yes is because, as I mentioned in my criticisms earlier, Devin just seems a bit distant and a little kind of spacey, and I feel like maybe he's been replaced by what's known as a skinwalker.
Oh
no, that didn't happen. What? That's crazy.
Seems like a sensitive subject, Devin.
That's crazy. No, I don't want to talk about that. No.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we'll keep an eye on Jeremy Corbell. That seems to be something that we need to do because he's leaking government information, and
we're also going to be appending Wire to the Endo Blue Men group, so that way we can get picked up by local
Fox.
Yeah, exactly.
syndicates.
Blue Men Group Wire.
I just think it's kind of interesting here that Jeremy Corbell is leaking information. Meanwhile, I mean, back in history, the Titanic was also leaking in certain spots, which led to its complete downfall because it crashed into a iceberg. So
yeah, you don't want leaks.
No, let's try to contain the leaks, but keep them coming. Jeremy Corbell, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah,
very deft. All right.
Yeah, let's go back down to Missouri, because we were just down at the border of we were in Alton, Illinois, nowhere near Chicago, by the way. It's right on the border of St. Louis.
It's actually the opposite end of the state.
Yes, that is correct, John. It is at so Illinois, you may know it for Chicago. I know it as the place that borders St. Louis. Let's read this headline from the AP Wire. No one in small southwest Missouri town voted on Tuesday. Perfect.
Wow.
Was there an election on Tuesday?
I have no clue, John.
I guess it was a local election.
Yeah, Dev, do you want to read the first few paragraphs here?
Yeah, so local elections in April generally attract few voters, but a small southwest Missouri town hit a new low this week when not one of its 70 residents cast a ballot.
All right.
Jasper County Clerk Charlie Davis said his office checked several times to confirm that no votes were cast Tuesday in La Russell in an election to decide if it should annex itself into the Avila Fire Protection District.
I love that Charlie Davis had to check several. He's like, that can't be right.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, did you check again? It's like, yeah, I did. Nobody.
So the box. Turn the box upside down and shake it.
If you're the only person who voted, you could have just decided this issue yourself.
That would have been so. Oh, you would have been the only person.
Didn't
who have
he
ever
vote?
Been like
tyranny of the majority?
Yeah.
Why didn't he vote? Is he not allowed to vote?
La Russell voters have to travel 7 miles, 11 kilometers, to Sarcoxie to vote, and there apparently was little publicity and few reminders about the election. John Carver, a resident of La Russell for 50 years, said he didn't see any flyers about the election. I worked until 10 p.m., Carver said. It was too late to drive to Sarkozy to vote. I work in the field and do whatever, run parts for semis, whatever it takes to keep things going. Plus, hardly anyone knew about the vote.
John Carver doesn't want anyone to shame. He doesn't want to feel guilty. He was like, I was really busy, okay?
Yeah. I mean, I guess being told that not a single person voted is kind of troubling.
I like the idea of John Carver not knowing there was an election and being one of the 70 residents. And then some journalist knocks on his door and is like, why didn't you vote on Tuesday? And he's like, I was working.
I gotta work till 10. I have a job. Yeah, this is I feel bad for the vote counters who are probably just ready. You know, they probably had like a spaghetti dinner the night before to kind of get those carbo load, and then like
they were so ready.
Gatorade in the morning, lots of water. Somebody's like, "Would you like a Coca-Cola?" It's like, no, I'm gonna hold off. I got a lot to do today. I don't want the sugar and caffeine rush. I'm just gonna stick with water today. And then it's like, okay, the polls are closed.
Yeah. Well, it's like the rest of the article has more excuses. Deborah Burton, La Russell City clerk and wife of Mayor Rick Burton, said her husband was in the hospital until Wednesday after he became ill last week.
This is exactly what I was thinking. So this is a classic Titanic situation. The captain's hand is off the wheel.
Yep.
No one is leading La Russell.
Yeah.
And the mayor, we can't even talk to the mayor of this town.
No,
they're having elections. He's in the hospital. His wife said, I didn't vote either.
Deborah Burton and Rick Burton, the mayor and city clerk, respectively. Deborah says, I was there with him, so I guess we didn't throw up the flag and let everyone know there was an election, so nobody went, she said.
Oh,
so
my God.
It's all on these people to, like, nobody will know unless these people say so, and then they just didn't.
They're like the mom and dad of the whole town.
So and remember that the election, what was on the ballot was about annexing this like this little place into their fire protection unit district thing, whatever. Avila Fire Chief Tim Gunter said his district has provided a truck and local volunteers at a small station in La Russell for years. But when Avila voters, could be Avila, voters created a property tax funded fire district in June 2020, it raised the question of whether he could use Avila tax dollars. By the way, spelling error. They spelled it with 2 L's and one, and then in the same sentence, they just spelled it with 1 L. Tax dollars to protect the La Russell. Excuse me for stopping halfway through a sentence and then finishing it later on. I'm hoping you're following what I'm trying to say. It's essentially an iceberg just popped up.
But so they're basically voting on whether they should be annexed into some kind of bigger political entity. And based on the fact that nobody voted, I think they should. I think they need help.
Yeah,
clearly,
I agree. They need help.
There's no hand on the wheel.
With
no voters, the question failed, Davis said. So they right now they have no fire protection, I'm assuming.
Yeah, if somebody has a fire in their kitchen, it's
game over.
You're done.
Yeah. The arsonists from miles away are like very
flooding
eager to
the
move.
area after
like,
hearing about this vote failure.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what? It's like I.
It was a sort of a dog whistle, like a tacit, call for arsonists to come to the area. Everyone abstained from the vote.
Yeah,
maybe this is like a honeypot situation, and the FBI is trying to dragnet like 100 different arsonists.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a fake town. It was built like a month ago.
There's nothing behind any of the buildings.
It's a Potemkin village for arsonists.
Explaining why the city clerk and the mayor are husband and wife. It's just like easier to find a couple to run the thing.
Yeah, I know. And like I have like a web on a whiteboard here with all the names of different people in this area. And I'm a bit concerned about this connection between the husband and wife pulling these strings or not pulling any strings. I'm unsure.
It also seems like that whole John Carver story, the guy who was working, and he has like a million excuses for why he didn't vote.
Yeah.
Also seems a little suspicious if you assume that this is some kind of fake story and that John Carver's an actor.
Yeah,
because it's like
he's
if you ask somebody why you didn't vote in an extremely meaningless small election that he'd have to drive to go to, he'd just be like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. He wouldn't have all of these alibis.
These like very well documented alibis. Yeah.
Yeah. And also I just got word that 2004 Puff Daddy is extremely upset because his vote or die campaign has turned out all for naught.
70 residents in small Missouri town put to death
for not voting. So remember that, vote or die. That was the campaign slogans of 2004 election. Anyway, so the La Russell Board of Trustees says the only other issue was 2 seats on that board, which drew 2 candidates. I don't know what that means. Davis said the Board of Trustees will have to consult state law to decide how the 2 open seats will be filled. Well, listen, there's 3 of us.
True.
Yeah,
we
we'll
could have
take
a race between us 3, and one of us will lose.
Yeah, it seems like one of us will lose. It could also be like that kind of, when you're like a kid and you're playing touch football and there's all-time QB, the guy who's just all-time quarterback. Does that ring a bell for anyone?
Sure.
No? Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let's move on.
I'm hanging on, but barely.
Yeah. Well, I would like to.
Okay. Well, it's just the idea that when you're playing. No, I was just going to say that when you're playing and there's an odd amount of people, there's just one person who's just like always like, essentially we're going to be rotating one of the seats, I think.
Yeah. I think what we should do is we have the listeners vote on 2 of us to take those seats.
Our listenership is, by the way, the same size as La Russell's citizen population.
Yeah, so this will be a fair fight.
And
that is
approximation. True. It would be very interesting to try to appeal yourself to about 70 people. And there's 3 people in the running and 1 will lose. And it's just sort of like, who's the least popular out of 70 people? Yeah. Who's the least appealing person?
Yes,
it'll be really healthy for the pod dynamic.
I know it will.
this would be very healthy for the pod dynamic. All right.
Well, I just want to read the last quote here. From Deborah Burton, the lady mayor of the town, the mayor regent. Burton said she and her husband helped gather signatures in December and January to put the question on the ballot. And quote, everyone said they were all for it and that they would vote.
Oh no.
And what happened?
So I guess Deborah Burton seems a little let down.
And aren't we all?
Yeah, we're extremely let down by this. La Russell, please get it together before the next election, because we are coming down there to make sure that everyone's voting. We'll take you to the polls. Okay. Let's move along. This one's going to take us over to Deutschland. Wir sind jetzt in Deutschland. We are now in Germany. Headline from the AP Wire: Monkey business. 24 monkeys escape German zoo for a day.
Nice. That's convenient. Was it like a trip?
Yeah.
I guess.
I want to know
a day trip.
The beginning, the middle, and the end. How did
escape for a day is like they went on a trip. They like went out and probably didn't know where they lived. And okay, so
it sounds like they were playing hooky.
Yeah, about 24 monkeys broke out of a southwestern German zoo and spent the day lolling in the sun near a forest before being recaptured, authorities said.
Oh man! So they
were like, we finally got out of the zoo.
Yeah, and then people come and throw them in bags or something.
Yeah, they're the Barbary macaques, commonly known as Barbary apes. Okay, escaped from the zoo in Lüffingen, southwest of Stuttgart, and not far from the Swiss border. They're trying to escape to a neutral country. They probably have some like suspect views on a lot of things, and they're like
political prisoners.
Yeah, I'd rather not be persecuted here in Lüffingen. It's not entirely clear how they got away.
Well, they're monkeys.
Yeah, John, they're Barbary apes. The construction work at the zoo might have been a factor. Yeah, I probably.
They climbed the crane and jumped out.
Yeah, there were some ramps going over the walls and such.
There were steps over.
I would like to critique the headline here. I can't believe they went for the obvious monkey business and didn't go for the more subtle Ape Escape.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
that's good, John. Very good. The
But
primates were spotted roaming the area in a pack. That's awesome. They're like a crew. But zoo employees were unable to recapture them and eventually lost track of them.
Strength in numbers.
Oh yeah.
Where one goes, we go all.
A few hours later, they were spotted, recaptured, and returned to their cages. Oh, isn't that
Without
great?
incident, police said. The whole thing is an incident, my friend. This is a news story.
Yeah.
Without incident is a huge understatement.
We didn't have to kill any of the apes.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah.
Or no children were killed by apes.
So what the police here are saying, the Polizei, their message about this is, do you guys mind if I do it in a German accent?
Oh, please.
Please do.
Because it's in English, but it's German Polizei. So the animals apparently, man, I don't know. Okay. The animals apparently took advantage of nice weather and spent the afternoon on the edge of the forest near the zoo.
Nice.
So
very good.
Zoo.
Nice.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
I have an answer.
Where was Jose this week? Jose 9. Do you guys remember this story?
Oh, now I do. The guy who broke into. Yeah,
Yes,
Jose.
yes.
No, that was
For
the
close
title.
listeners
Right.
of the show.
That was
Okay,
the
okay.
title. That was like last week or something.
Okay, so yes, Jose could have broken into the cage.
Yes, serial zoo disturber.
Jose.
Jose, I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
He would be a hero if he was really traveling the world letting animals out from zoos.
Absolutely.
Free all political prisoners is his whole thing, his shtick.
Yeah.
The Barbary macaque is a native of the Atlas Mountains of North Africa, nowhere near Germany. I added that. That's my own editorial, by the way, and has a small but famous presence apparently.
I don't know
across
how
the
famous it
water
is.
in Europe in the British territory of Gibraltar. Ah, that's correct. Yeah, we all know that, right? Where there's all those macaques hanging out in Gibraltar on the rocks.
Right.
Yes,
right.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Were they trying to go there? Maybe.
Probably. And I think, as far as I know, the only direct flight is through Zurich.
Yeah.
So they were actually trying to get to Zurich.
Well, they couldn't. The Stuttgart was booked because of all the businessmen flying to.
Yeah,
Gibraltar.
I mean, the Porsche headquarters, the German automobile manufacturer, is in Stuttgart. That is one I've heard some rumors floating around on Twitter that the macaques were trying to escape to the proving grounds at the Porsche Stuttgart factory to test drive some of the new Porsche 911s. But that is unfounded from some of my research.
Is that doesn't Porsche have a card that's the spider or something?
They do, John. That is
So it's
true.
the Porsche Spider Monkey was being tested.
Oh, wow. John's having fun with this one.
Wow.
So the name of the zoo is Tots Mania.
Okay.
If you're interested in looking up the zoo.
And maybe you don't even need to pay to go in. Maybe you just hang out around the zoo.
And wait.
And maybe you go to the forest nearby and you just see if there's any free shows.
Just
Any
look for
sunbathers.
construction. Yeah, there's some construction going on. Take advantage of that if you're
What
in
do
the
you think they were
Luffingen area.
constructing? Like a fake log?
Smaller
I don't know.
cages.
But we've got another animal story here, hot off the AP wire.
It just came in. Nice.
Another heavy-hitting one. Record-holding giant rabbit stolen in UK.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this has another pun headline, but it's not really
Yeah.
a pun.
Police say one of the world's biggest bunnies has been stolen from its home in central England. Darius, a continental giant rabbit, disappeared from his enclosure in a backyard in the village of Stolton over the weekend, the West Mercia Police Force said. They did not elaborate on why they thought it was a theft instead of an escape. Interesting.
Interesting.
I know some cops they should talk to in Luffingen. The force
Interpol
appealed.
is getting involved.
Yeah. Not the band, by the way. The band Interpol has nothing to do with this. The force appealed for any information about the sightings of Darius, who is a gray-brown and 129 centimeters. That's 4 feet 3 inches long at full stretch.
Wow.
He holds the Guinness World Records, who we have a bit of an issue with if you've listened to previous episodes. Citation for the world's longest rabbit. Rabbits of his type are known to weigh about 15 to 20 pounds. That's 7 to 9 kilos.
Did they say how much?
Yeah, it
he
doesn't say how
weighs?
much he weighs. Darius.
So we've got a missing famous rabbit. Not just any rabbit, but a
Right.
world record holding big rabbit.
Right.
Big.
True.
Big rabbit. Who
Very
are some
big
other famous rabbits?
Uh,
Bugs Bunny, Peter Rabbit.
Um,
Come on.
the Cadbury Egg Bunny.
Easter Bunny.
Yes.
Come on, I've got a huge list over here. I'm just waiting for you guys to fill it in.
Devin hasn't got one yet. Go ahead, Devin.
Roger Rabbit.
There we go. Nice. Now you're in it.
Pervert. He's canceled. Any more?
I think that's
well,
it.
go ahead, Ron. You have a huge list. Let's see.
No, I named a few.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
I had a rabbit named Tickles when I was a kid, and my family moved, and we gave it away. We had to give it away because we moved, and then my
Wait,
parents
why did
told
you have
me
to give it away for moving?
because we
Rabbits
moved to a
aren't
different.
necessarily like.
John, please, I moved to a
Controlled.
different country. Okay, they wouldn't allow my tiny rabbit that I probably got at a mall when I was 5 across the border. Okay,
Yeah.
and we gave it to my friend, and my parents told me that it got cancer. I don't know if that was like just to say as a kid. And then I asked my parents if Tickles smoked cigarettes because the only conception of cancer I had was cigarettes.
Oh.
Don't ask. I don't know. Okay. Anyway,
Well,
that's
hold
the
on.
most
I'm
famous
looking at
rabbit
the
in my
article
life.
here. The continental giant rabbit is also sometimes known as the German giant.
Ah.
So clearly, German animals have
Ach
a penchant for
so.
escape.
Yeah, there's a German connection here.
Yeah. I don't think it was theft at all. I think it was.
Again, freedom. This is political prisoner Darius has been let free. Wasn't the movie Great Escape also set in Germany?
Yes.
Weren't they political prisoners somewhere in Germany?
They were POWs.
Well, they were World War II. Yeah.
Prisoners of war. Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
But anyway, Darius, you're roaming free. We wish you the best, buddy, and
Stay free.
Yeah, stay free and just take each moment as it comes.
That's right. Keep your. That's great advice. That's great advice, Devin. It feels like Devin's given advice to rabbits before, but
Devin's in a spiritual ass mood on this pod.
I know, very zen. And I would say, listen, Darius, keep your nose to the ground, okay? You will find your freedom if you just keep your nose to the ground. Keep that sniffing. The carrots are at the end of the rainbow, my man. John, do you have any advice for Darius? This
Head
is
to Gibraltar.
Head to Gibraltar is what John's saying.
Yeah, that's good advice.
That is great advice.
Get
Thank
to
you.
Gibraltar.
If you're listening to this, Darius, seek Gibraltar.
All right. Well,
Okay.
that is good. Thank you. Just remember that there is, if you do live in the United Kingdom, just to wrap this up, there is a reward, £1,000 reward, which is $1,300.
More.
And then it got.
Oh, so
She
initially
initially,
it
sorry.
was £1,000 reward, but then
Annette Edwards, Edwards, the owner.
The owner tweeted on Tuesday, "Please, I am so upset. Can you bring my Darius back? I'm putting the reward up to £2,000."
So that's a hefty bounty, 2,748 American dollars. That's like somebody.
That's hefty.
But
clearly she is going to cave more for more money. She's
I know.
not sticking to her guns at all. It says she's the world record holder for rabbit breeding over 3 generations. And I clicked. She has a Wikipedia article. I clicked on it, and she has 10 children and 14 grandchildren. So she's clearly addicted to breeding.
Holy hell, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's one of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
One
we
of
wish her the
those.
best to create a newer, better, stronger Darius to replace him.
Yes, there's going to be a human-sized rabbit coming up out of this Annette Edwards house once they get this rabbit back. All right, well let's close the chapter on Darius. Not to say that Darius is dead. I'm just trying to say that like we have to move on to the next article. But
It's time to forget about Darius.
He's thriving in
He's
Gibraltar.
in the wind.
Okay?
he's
We'll
on
leave
his
it
way
at
to
that.
Gibraltar. All right,
He's in the
now
wind.
we're gonna open up a segment that we've done before, but we've don't think we've necessarily put a name on it. It's the smuggler of the week.
We've had many smugglers in this Hero of the Week section, and now I think it's finally time to consistently choose a notable smuggler every week on this pod.
Yeah. So what we've noticed in our media, as we mentioned, we wake up extremely early in the 5 o'clock hour and then just read the dailies, the broadsheets, the dailies, the news. They're called newspapers. We read them. We read them digitally. We read them analogically. We're doing it all. And what
like I said, we subscribe to Bloomberg Terminal, which is $20,000 a year.
day.
So please continue to donate to our
just give us money.
news fund.
So the thing that we've noticed here is there's always a smuggling news story that's generally a press release by the police. And it's passed off as news. And,
right, they're bragging.
Yeah, we found another one. This one takes place in Croatia, where I really want to go to Croatia, to be honest. I've been watching a lot of Croatia videos.
Where in Croatia do you want to go? Zagreb?
No, I want to go to the beach. I want to go to I believe it's like Split or something like that. And there's an island I was reading about I want to go to. Anyway, Croatian police said Wednesday that they have found and confiscated more than a half of ton of cocaine hidden in fruit containers in an Adriatic seaport.
Okay.
Pretty impressive.
I'm listening, but I'd like to know a little more.
So, got to be honest, there's no smuggler in this news article. We don't find out who the smuggler is.
No.
You may remember a previous news story that we had about Windsor, Ontario, Detroit, Michigan, Detroit River smuggling of drugs with a submarine.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of debunked that whole article as being extremely confusing to read. This may be the same guy who took his little submarine, a la our friend James Cameron, who has a submarine. So what I'm trying to say is it's either the guy from Michigan or Windsor or wherever he's from, or James Cameron.
Yeah. There was a guy in China who was buying, it was like being sent to some guy's house, remember?
Oh, yes.
Well, there was the plants. There was the plant story about illegal plants being smuggled into Australia.
Cacti.
That's right.
Right.
All the same. It's the same person. So
this Croatian story, finding cocaine in fruit containers. One of the information sources we have here is State HRT Television described the seizure as one of the biggest ever in Croatia. With the help of sniffer dogs, police discovered the cocaine 2 weeks ago in the port of Plos, close to the leading tourist resort of Dubrovnik, they said at a press conference. So, there's no information. It seems like the only info is from the police and the state television.
Yeah.
And a lot of photos of them with packages of cocaine on a table and them looking very impressive with guns and full balaclavas.
Yeah.
And dogs laying down.
Yeah. It's tons of drugs. And one of the men in the photos with a gun and full tactical gear looks as though he could be 7 feet tall. He is an extremely large man. I would hazard to guess that this is a photo of a largest man I've seen this week.
Or at least the tallest man in the room.
Police and customs officials discovered the 575 kilograms of cocaine during a random search of the containers that arrived from South America. No one has shown up since to collect the drugs, and there have been no arrests so far, they said. Police estimated the street value of the cocaine at more than 57 million euros.
See, this is a lot of people may wonder why we have a Smuggler of the Week section without a smuggler named, but he wouldn't be our Smuggler of the Week, he or she, if they were caught.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the secret of this story.
This smuggler has so much heat on him. He's able to walk away from 70 million euro and just time to move on.
The unknown soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So no other details have been revealed as an international probe is ongoing. Croatian police said the cocaine was destined for other countries in the region. How did they know that? They were just like, this.
Oh, it's not for us.
It's not for us. It's clearly for
other countries.
Some other place.
Croatians do not do illegal drugs.
It was on its way to Gibraltar like everybody else, it seems.
Everybody's just headed to Gibraltar these days.
Yeah. Well, so that is the Smuggler of the Week. Somebody it's It's kind of like the unknown soldier, you know.
Yeah.
You just
The DB Cooper.
someone who will
DB
be
Cooper.
someone who will be referenced later in like a new rap song that's very big over the summer.
Yeah.
Sort of
That's-
obliquely referenced. That's when
Yeah.
we'll find out who it was.
the summer hit, as we like to call it in Germany, der Sommer hit. All right, let's close that nice little chapter of the Smuggler of the Week and head into our final destination here. This week in numbers. This
What are we-
week's numbers.
What numbers are we talking about today?
last week's numbers. Fuck. Okay.
Okay.
I like this week in numbers because it sounds like it's going to be news.
Yeah. All right, everybody. So this is a little segment where we like to keep track of how we're doing. In the last 7 days, we had 154 downloads. That's a lot. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's
Last
pretty
30
good.
days, 625.
That's not bad.
All-time downloads, 2,445.
Nice. So,
So-
we're doing good.
Yeah, the one thing here that we need to see, though, is over the past 14 days, we're down 17%. I think
Oh.
I
All right,
may know why.
Okay.
Why?
Why? What happened?
What's going on?
Now, I'm
Whose
not
fault is
trying-
it? Who should I be mad at?
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was just about to say. I'm not placing blame here. This is
Okay.
not the blame
Okay.
game.
Yeah.
Sure, but let's go ahead and name
blame-free.
names now.
But
I'm sharpening something.
our last episode did have 17 minutes of silence at the end. Some of our listeners
Oh.
said that they
Mhm.
listened for the full 17 minutes expecting a secret message, and there wasn't
No.
one.
Can we put a
Um,
secret message at the end of this one?
Yeah, we could do that.
Okay.
But anyway, that's my fault. I'm the editor here, and
Who's the fall guy?
guys? I messed up.
But I'll take the blame because I am the host. This is the what I do.
This is the one time that no one listened to it before we posted, which
Yeah,
we
no-
normally do.
Well, I mean,
To
so
ensure a quality product. We're sort
But
of
we-
our own EPA or our own FDA, where we review our own products to make sure they're safe for consumption.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
OSHA. Yeah, I mean, like we did get 81 first week listens on last week's episode, which is above. Wait, was it? We wanted 86 or 69? I forget.
I'm not sure, but we're doing good. It's better
Yeah.
than our April Fools.
Of course, yeah.
Everyone hated the April Fool's one. The April Fool's one that no one listened to is an April Fool's prank on us.
Right.
I love the April Fool's episode.
I
That was a
love
great
it too.
episode. Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
I think if you haven't heard it, you should check it out right now.
You should pause this recording,
Yeah,
Yeah.
listen to that, and then come back to the last 3 minutes of this one.
and then listen for the hidden message at the end.
Yeah.
In one of these episodes, this is our 27th episode. There is a hidden message in one of them. Find out which one. I can't tell you which one. But yeah, look at that. We've done 27 of these episodes. On to number 28. And yeah, that's that. What more can I say? I mean, we've pretty much touched on everything.
We pretty
On
much
this
covered
episode.
the numbers, I guess.
Yeah.
we did. And it looks like another classic Titanic moment.
Mhm.
Someone's hands, the captain's hands, were not on the wheel
Mhm.
last week.
Yeah, it's
But
true. We didn't hit an iceberg.
We didn't hit an iceberg.
A small little chunk of ice, but
A little
it's-
ice flow.
It
But
shook us, but
we're back in the cabin's nest or whatever it's called.
Yep.
Crow's nest, yes.
We're back
All
in the
hands
captain's seat.
on deck,
hmm
and we're gonna charge ahead.
Aye, aye.
Yeah.
Open her up,
Off
Captain.
off to Gibraltar we go. All right, listeners, I would like you to stay safe out there. I know that as the weather gets a bit warmer, there is, a need to be by water. It just happens. We all want to be by water when it gets warm out. And I just want to say to you that water can be dangerous. And I want you to put on a life jacket if you're inside of a boat. I want you to sharpen up your swimming skills with some YouTube videos about treading water, breathing, that kind of stuff. And I want you to be careful about eating and swimming at the same time.
And if
All
you're
right,
near,
everybody.
and if you're near a shipping boat, work on your alibi.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.